Sorry, but my setup isn't showing. Hold on one second, Insta. My Restream setup is not showing. Oh, I have to hit show, D. You didn't hit show, D. Good morning. No, it's not good morning. Good evening. I did a morning show for like a year and a half. Rise and shine with Dawn. And now this is the opposite, and like my brain just said good morning. It's not good morning. Good evening, friends. We're going on, we're not chapter 9. We're on chapter 10. I goofed that. I wonder if I can fix it in midstream. I wonder. Hold on. Hide. Oh, I think I could do it. Sorry, excuse my... No, I can't. Who cares? I did that twice already. Maybe I should just not list the chapter and just list the book. That would just be easier on everybody. So good evening. I'm really enjoying my Instagram group that's watching and following along because I can actually see their comments. So it's part of the loss of streaming live in 5 places is I really don't get to be part of it unless I can see the comments. I can't see the comments on Facebook. No one's watching on YouTube, frankly. I have a few followers on Twitch watching and then Instagram. And the only place I can see comments is on Insta. So go IG. Tonight, Monday night, I'm reading chapter 10 from Freak the Mighty. And we have 2 boys who've just made an extraordinary friendship. And they seem to be kind of opposite. One is like huge, beastie, total like defensive player on the football team, like a beast, tall, wide, right? And then Freak, Kevin, he is the opposite. He's tiny. He never got like bigger than a 2-year-old and he like toddler size, and he wears braces on his legs, and his chest puffs out when he walks, and he has like a breathing problem. And these 2 boys just come together and they forge a friendship, and proving once again that it doesn't matter what your differences are. We are all more alike than we are different. Isn't that the theme of a lot lately? Whew, preach. Anyhow, chapter 10, rats are worse. What could be worse than rats, first of all? Ew. Hate rats. Did we discuss this last night, right? They give me the creepy crawlies. One thing that happened over the summer, I grew even more. Grim takes a look at me one day and he goes, "All that walking you do, it must be stretching out your legs and carrying poor Kevin around. That seems to be putting real muscle on you." He's not that heavy. And anyhow, it's not fair everybody always says poor Kevin just because he didn't grow. Grim gives me this long, sorrowful look, and then he clears his throat. "You're quite right. He is a rather remarkable boy. He's memorized almost the whole dictionary. You can ask him anything and he knows what it means." "You don't say," Grim says. And he has this smug look like maybe Freak is lying and a total goon like me would never get it. And I want to tell him he's wrong about Freak and the dictionary, but instead I just shut my face and go down under. Down under in this stinky basement. Grim, he's okay sometimes, like when Tony D chased us into the pond, but most of the time he thinks he knows everything, which he doesn't. Do you guys have an older person in your life that just like, no matter what the situation is, they know better than you? That's Grim. You feel me? And if you don't believe me, look under Grim in the dictionary. It sure doesn't say a smart grown-up. No way. So I'm hanging out down under listening to some of my thrash tapes of the fake Walkman on the fake wall. Woo, I just tore that sentence up. Good example of back it up and start it over. So I'm hanging out down under listening to some of my thrash tapes on the fake Walkman I got last Christmas when Freak pops up on the side of my bed. Because of the headphones and the volume being pumped up to mega decibel, I never hear him come in. He's just suddenly there, like, whoa, and I bet I jumped about a foot. Freak rolls his eyes and goes, "Ah, music, how it calms the savage beast. How did you get here? Would you believe teleportation? No? Then I came down through the bulkhead door like always. And like always, I have a quest in mind. Right away I go, my feet hurt. We don't have to leave the neighborhood. Cool. What kind of quest is this?" Freak grins. "A treasure hunt. Except we don't really have to hunt because I already know where the treasure is." "Where?" "Underground," he says. "Specifically in the sewer." Y'all know what the sewer is, right? They call it different things in different parts of the country and different parts of the world, but it's the down under where the peeping caca go. Yeah. Don't want to go there. That's a quest. "Yeah, right," I say, and sit back down on the bed. Freak is looking at me sideways, and I can tell he's not telling me everything, which he almost never does, not all at once. "Truth," he says. "The treasure is hidden in a storm drain. This has been confirmed by visual observation." "Treasure in a storm drain? You mean like gold and diamonds kind of stuff?" "Possibly," he says, acting mysterious. "Anything is possible. The deal is we have to wait until night so no one can see us messing with the storm drain. Not just night," Freak says. "We need to do it at exactly 3 in the morning." I'm going to pause there for a moment and say, if your friend asks you to go somewhere and do something at 3 in the morning that involves the sewer, maybe it's just me, but I might say no. What do you think he's going to do? So now we're going at 3 in the morning. "Optimum Darkness occurs at 0300 hours, he says, looking at the new watch his mom gave him, the kind that tells you what time it is in Tokyo, just in case you're wondering. We must dress in black and cover our faces with soot, which is dirt. For the next couple of hours, we try to find soot. But it turns out you need a fireplace for soot, or at least a chimney. So Freak finally decides that my idea about using regular dirt will have to do. "I've got black dungarees," I say, "but no black shirt. Can I just wear a dirty shirt?" Such a boy thing to say. Freak makes a face and says, "What a disgusting idea. Don't worry about the shirt. I'll get you one. Can you manage black socks?" You ever notice how long it takes for things to happen when you know they're supposed to happen? My fake Walkman has a built-in alarm, and I set it for 2 in the morning and I wear headphones to bed. But before you can wake up, you have to fall asleep. And I never do fall asleep because I keep waiting for the alarm to go off, which is, I know, typical butthead behavior. He's so mean to himself. Any of you mean to yourself because you don't sleep well? Actually, I know quite a few of you that don't sleep well, and you beat yourself up for it. Could it be that you're too hard on yourself? I'm always telling people, lighten up. Don't be so serious. Okay, so I digress. I'm lying awake in the dark on a hot summer night, and I'm thinking, treasure in the sewer? What kind of quest is this, huh? Is Freak completely making this up or what? Meanwhile, there's this cricket making this creaky cricket noise that normally is okay, except when you're trying to fall asleep. Then it's not okay, and you want a big can of Raid. Send it to Disney World or Insect Heaven or wherever it is that dead crickets go. Question: how come Freak knows about this stuff in the storm drain? Question: how come we have to put dirt on our faces? Question: how come 3 in the morning? Question: how long do crickets live? Finally, I give up on the first 3 and work on the cricket problem. But the little critter is pretty clever. It stops cricketing whenever I get too close, and I never do find it, and squash it with my shoe, which I swear I'm ready to do, even if crickets are supposed to be harmless. Y'all know you've had a cricket around, or a mosquito. True story. I'm meditating the other day, and a mosquito is just constant. And you're meditating, so you're supposed to just whatever. there's a lawnmower, there's a noise. Like, you just kind of go with the flow. You don't stop thinking and breathing. You just sit there, right? So I'm trying not to do the mosquito, but after a while, I literally took this blanket and like went under it for 20 minutes, popped a little hole to breathe every once in a while. It was not the best meditation setting I've ever had, but that's what's going on here. He can't sleep. He's mulling over these questions of why he has to go to the sewer at 3 a.m, optimal darkness, and he can't sleep. And there's a bug. Bugs, the little things that bother us, right? Isn't it the little things? So finally, I give up on the first 3, and I read that already. And then after almost forever, it gets to be 2:30, and I figure that's close enough. I'll go up and wait under Freak's window like I promised. There's no moon. The sky is dark and empty, and the backyards are so lonesome, it feels creepy and exciting. The truth is, I've never been out alone at this time of night. And let me just back up and just repeat that beauty, that personification right there. The backyards are so lonesome, it feels creepy and exciting. Can backyards be lonesome? When you give human-like characteristics to things that are not human, we call that personification. And I just think that's a beautiful thing to call a yard at night, lonesome. Just the English teacher pops out every once in a while. And there's that feeling of being out at that time of night when the whole world seems to be asleep. It's pretty cool if you ask me. Not in the sewer, though. You with me on that? So, I wonder if I could see the chat. Yes, I can. Okay, so my Twitch people are here. What's up, Twitch? What's up, Insta? Hi from the UK. I see you. I do this every night, Bedtime Stories. And I do to get off task all the time. The kids think it's funny. I don't care. They don't care. We read every day. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You sound like, where did you leave off? Okay, so personification. I only fall down a couple of times, which isn't bad considering how hard it is to see. When I get to Freak's bedroom window, he's waiting for me. You sound like a car wreck, he says. Here, you better put on this shirt so you don't glow in the dark. Out of the window, he hands me this silly feeling shirt. Hey, wait a minute. This is your mom's blouse. It's black, he says. That's what counts. The camouflage factor. Forget it, I say, and I give him back the Fair Gwen's blouse. Freak sighs. Okay, he says, roll around the ground and darken yourself. That's easy and better than wearing some dumb blouse. What about you, I ask, when I'm covered with dirt enough so I want to sneeze? Freak goes, beware the force, Earthling. And he stands up in the window and I can see he's got a Darth Vader costume on, except he's not wearing the mask part. I guess it was more like, beware the force, Earthling. I can't do it. I'm better at Chewie. He opens the window all the way and I lift him out and put him on my shoulders. He goes, pledge to me your fealty. And I say, huh? And he says, never mind. There's no time to look up fealty. Just promise you'll do what I say. Fealty is an oath, a promise, a commitment, a pledge, a devotion, right? So he's, promise me your fealty. Just promise you'll do what I say. I promise. Go to the end of the block, he orders. Attempt to conceal us in the shadows. That's easy because the street is one big shadow. It's so dark I can hardly see my feet. Or maybe I got some dirt in my eyes. But the point is, no one sees us because there's no one to see us. You'd never know anybody lived here, let alone a whole block full of people. It's like we're on an empty planet or something. Was the real Darth Vader as tall as this? Freak asks. From where is he hiding? Or from where is he riding high up on my shoulders? I thought it was just a movie. You know what I mean. What's that? That is a cat that runs out from under my feet. So out of nowhere, sudden that my heart goes wham. Woo! Read that weird. That is a cat that runs out from under my feet. So out of nowhere, sudden that my heart goes wham. That's what I read it right. It's just a weird sentence. And sometimes authors do that. Hey, what is a black cat? Freak wants to know. Too dark to tell, I say. Are we almost there? Remember, this chapter's called Rats, not Cats. So too dark to tell. Are we almost there? Finally, I figure out it's hard to see because the Darth Vader cap is hanging in my eyes, but then we're at the end of the block and the storm drain is right there by the curb. See if you can pull it up, Freak says. He's standing there with his arms folded and the expression on his face. Well, he really does look like a pint-sized Darth Vader. Imagine how cute he is. Can you imagine how stinking cute he is? I hook my hands in the storm drain grate and give it a heave, but nothing happens. I can't budge it. Try again, he says, with his arms folded like he's a lord of the universe. I try again, and it's like the grate is super glued or something. No way I can pull it up. Freak is tugging at my leg, and he goes, Option 2 is now in effect. He reaches inside his little cape. Out comes a flashlight, one of those small kinds that look sort of like a cigarette lighter, and also a spool of kite string. I devised a special retrieval device, Freak says. Looks like a bent paper clip on a string, I say, and Freak tells me to shut up and follow orders. You hold the string, he says, and then he gets down on his knees and shines the little flashlight through the grate. Can you see it? He asks. Can you? I look, but it's hard to see anything, and it smells like something died in the storm drain, which, come to think of it, it probably did. Rats or worse. Down there, Freak says, the beam is hitting it right now. That's just a piece of junk. Wrong, Freak says, real fierce. It looks like a piece of junk. It may very well contain fabulous wealth. Drop the line down and see if you can hook it. I'm thinking, boy, what a butthead rolling in the dirt for this little Darth Vader so he can play pretend games in the middle of the night. But I do what he asks. I drop the hook down, and much to my surprise, it actually hooks onto something, and when I pull up the kite string, I can see what it is. A purse, I say. Looks like a grotty old purse. Careful, Freak says. Pull it up to the grate so I can grab the strap. I bring it up an inch at a time, and Freak, manages to get his small hand down through the grate and grab hold of the soggy old purse, and then he almost drops it. I yank up on the kite string, and we both manage to squeeze the slimy purse up through the bars. Phew! Mission accomplished, Freak says. The old purse is torn and wet, and I don't want to touch it unless I have gloves on. Gross, I say. Somebody must have flushed this down a toilet. No way, Freak says. I saw one of Tony D's punks stuff it down there yesterday morning. They must have stole it. No doubt, Freak says. And he opens the clasp and points his little light inside the purse. By now, I know there isn't going to be any treasure, but still, this is pretty good. Recovering stuff that Blade's gang ripped off from some little old lady or whatever. A wallet, Freak says, and he flips open this cheap-looking wallet, the kind that's made to hold credit cards. There's no money inside, but there's a plastic ID card. And on the plastic card, it's a lady's name. Loretta Lee, Freak says. I'll bet you anything she's a damsel in distress. Which, as it turns out, is almost true. The real deal is that she is a damsel who causes distress, which we find out the very next day. So this book, someone's asking on Twitch, this is Freak the Mighty by Rodman Philbrook. No, did I say it right? Rodman Philbrook. Yeah, I think I said it right. I say it wrong all the time. Next chapter is Damsel of Distress, chapter 11. Even though this said chapter 9, I think I got rid of it. So, this was chapter 10, and it could have been a rat that crossed his feet, but more or less, he was talking about the rats in the sewer, and now they've got Loretta Lee's purse, and of course, these are boys who probably want to complete the quest, give the purse back to Loretta, and we know they do because they find out the very next day that she is a damsel of distress. That's a fun chapter. So thank you for joining me. It's Dawn. It's Bedtime Stories. And we're about halfway through now. what's going to happen next. So much fun. Thank you for joining me, and have a good night. I hope you sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Thank you for joining me, Twitch. I haven't been on in a while, and I'm coming back now every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you. Good night. I love the Twitch community. I just got to shout out them right now. I did it for a little while last year. Hi, Facebook. Hi, YouTube. YouTube, that's like 3 people. Though they're just like a community. Like, they're gamers. They started out as gamers, but my channel is called Just Chatting, and Freely Readings over there. And they're just a nice, like, they ask questions like they really want to know, and then they wait around for the answer, and then they get to know you. Like, I know the 40 people that I connected with, I still see them streaming all the time, and it's just a really nice community. So hello, and Twitch, and thank you for being here. And for some reason, I see those comments and none others. Who knows what Facebook is doing right now? I see people are on. Hi, thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful night.